The scream ripped through the morning like a gunshot, raw and jagged, slicing the suburban quiet of Willow Creek Lane. It came from a tidy brick house where sunlight danced on a child's chalk dragon sprawled across the driveway electric blue, with jagged wings and a snarl. That scream was a mother's terror, a sound that froze the world. Curtains twitched. A jogger faltered. Then, the low growl of an engine answered, tires screeching as a black SUV tore away. Something was wrong. Dead wrong. It was 8:32 a.m. on a warm April Saturday, the kind that whispered of bike rides and lemonade stands. Claire Harper sat on her porch, sipping coffee, watching her 10-year-old son, Lucas, scribble his latest masterpiece. His brown hair flopped as he worked, tongue caught between his teeth, lost in creation. "Mom, look," he called, pointing to the dragon's glowing eyes. "It's got lasers now." Claire's heart swelled. Unstoppable, kiddo. For a moment, life was perfect safe, hers. Then the SUV crept into VYEW. It moved too slow, too deliberate, like a shark circling. No front plate, windows blacked out. Claire's smile vanished. She set her mug down, the clink loud in the sudden hush. The vehicle stopped in front of their house, engine idling with a predatory hum. Two men stepped out in sync, navy uniforms crisp, community compliance stenciled in white. No badges, no names. One held a tablet. The other wore tactical gloves in 90-degree heat. Their eyes hid behind mirrored sunglasses, faces carved from stone. "Can I help you?" Claire called, standing, her voice firm but edged with unease. The taller man, lean and pale, pointed at Lucas. "That's vandalism," he said, voice flat. "Sidewalk markings VY Olate Code 3B. Citation." Claire's pulse spiked. "It's chalk. He's a kid." The shorter man, stocky with a scarred jaw, stepped toward Lucas. "Graffiti's enforceable." "Step back, ma'am." He pulled zip ties from his belt. Lucas froze, chalk slipping. "Mom!" His voice trembled. Claire surged forward, shielding her son. "You're not touching him." "Who are you?" The tall one smirked, filming with his phone. "Obstructing compliance." "Bad move." "Obstruction?" Claire's voice cracked with fury. "You're not cops. Get off my property." The scarred man snatched her phone as she reached for it. "Tampering," he said, smug. Lucas backed toward the porch. The tall one grabbed his arm, yanking him. Claire's scream shattered the street. Neighbors peered out. A dog barked. The world held its breath. Then the front door creaked. A man stepped out, silver hair cropped tight, faded black t-shirt, jeans. His face was weathered, eyes like steel, carrying wars unspoken. He moved with calm purpose, no rush, only intent. The imposters didn't see him, too focused on Claire's defiance. But she did, and her breath caught. "Dad," she whispered. James Callahan descended the porch, scanning the scene, the SUV, the zip ties, his daughter's trembling hands, his grandson's fear. The tall man turned, scoffing. "Back off, old man. Compliance business." James's voice cut like a blade, low and steady. "You're done intimidating anyone." 6 words, heavy with warning, the kind that silence storms. The scarred man tightened his grip on Lucas. "Want trouble, Grandpa?" James stepped closer. "You're 3 seconds from a mistake you won't walk away from." The tall one lunged, hand raised to shove. It was his last mistake. James sidestepped, seized a wrist, and twisted. A crack echoed as the elbow snapped. Before the scream formed, James's knee slammed into the man's gut, dropping him, gasping, arm limp. The scarred man released Lucas, charging. James pivoted, landing a palm strike to the throat. The thug choked, stumbling, and James swept his legs with a sharp kick. He hit the pavement hard, head bouncing, eyes fluttering. In seconds, 2 armed men lay broken by a 67-year-old who hadn't raised his voice. Claire pulled Lucas close, voice shaking. "You okay, baby?" Lucas nodded, clinging. "Grandpa's a superhero." James crouched, yanking zip ties from the scarred man's belt. "Like these?" he muttered, binding him with precision. He tied the other, ignoring their groans. Claire called the police. "Porch camera on." Now, she dialed 911, hands trembling. 2 men, fake officers, try to take my son. My father stopped them. They're restrained. Hurry. James circled the SUV. No plates, no decals, just fake forms and a lockbox of cash. His jaw tightened. Organized. Neighbors emerged, phones filming. Whispers spread. He dropped them like nothing, someone said. James ignored it, eyes on Lucas. The boy peeked from Claire's side. Grandpa, how? James softened. Old tricks, kid. Don't worry. Police arrived, 4 cars, lights flashing. Sergeant Torres, grizzled and sharp, assessed in seconds. They're not cops, James said, hands raised. Try to take my grandson. I stopped them. Torres nodded, eyeing the zip-tied men. No badges. We've got it. The SUV held damning EVY Denke. Blank HOA forms, zip ties, a notebook listing target single mom, no cameras, elderly, easy. Torres's face darkened. This is a racket. Claire gave her statement, Lucas clinging to her. Torres approached James. You okay, sir? James glanced at his steady hands. Fina. Warn every HOA. These 2 had help. The story exploded. A neighbor's VY Deo Claire scream, James's 6 words. 2 men down hit 100,000 VYUs by noon. By night, 500,000. Headline screamed, Vet crushes fake HOA thugs. Military forums hailed James. Neighborhood groups shared the clip like a battle cry. James didn't care. He sat on the porch at dusk, staring at Lucas's smudged chalk dragon, trampled by chaos. Inside, Claire soothed Lucas, who whispered, What if they come back? She had no answers. James knew words weren't enough. Those men were too smooth, trained, maybe ex-security, maybe worse. Trained men had bosses. That night, he checked locks, installed motion lights, and opened a dusty footlocker. Inside, a Pelican case held a surveillance scanner, old but functional. He'd used it in the army, sweeping for signals. Now it hummed to life. Claire's phone buzzed with reporters. She declined them. They're making it a show, she snapped, pacing. James stirred his coffee. Good. Noise makes them nervous. More of them. Claire's voice wavered. James nodded. Custom uniforms, fake forms, coordination. Not a solo act. Neighbors gathered, shaken. Tom Vance, a retired deputy, approached. They hit my sister last month. Fake auditors demanded to law 400. She paid. They vanished. James's eyes narrowed. Details. Now. James re-VYEU'd porch footage, spotting it. The scarred man scanned the street, covering angles like a soldier. The tall one had a throat mic. Someone listened. He scribbled, aftermarket tint. Breach formation. Not amateurs. The VY Deo hit 1 million VYUs. A councilwoman demanded an HOA fraud task force. James ignored it, taking a call from Agent Diaz, FBI. Your men are on a watch list, she said. Extortion ring, 3 states. Fake HOA fines, threats, sometimes abductions. Claire paled. Abductions? Diaz nodded. You got lucky. James's jaw tightened. Luck's not enough. He handed Diaz's notes timestamps, the mic. She raised an eyebrow. You're thorough. Had to be. In the garage, James's binder grew forum posts, stories of fake violations, unmarked SUVs. Patterns. No badges. Targets vulnerable. Zip ties. He paused. Throat mic. Who's listening? He swept the neighborhood with the scanner, catching an encrypted signal from a gray van 3 blocks away. No markings. Dusty plates. He logged it, sent it to Diaz. She called fast. That van's on our radar. You just hide it here. James didn't smile. They're still out there. At a town hall, Claire stood, voice fierce. They tried to take my son. Zip ties, fake badges. My father stopped them. The room erupted, stories of fake fines, fear. Patterns emerged. James watched, silent. He didn't need applause. He needed answers. Then a note in their mailbox. Violation. Cameras. Remove or face enforcement. Claire shook. It's them. James tore it up, holding it to the street. Let them try. He didn't sleep, mapping the house entry points, blind spots. He added a camera, a silent alarm. Lucas came home pale. A guy at the school gate asked my name. Said he was district. James knelt. Did he touch you? No. I ran. James marked the gate, filing a tip. Impersonator targeting minors. Escalation. Then, an envelope Araveda photo from their camera, James on the porch. On the back, you're not alone. He added it to his binder, pulling his steel baton from the Pelican case. Claire found him. Is this war? They picked the wrong house. At dawn, James scanned the fence, now wired with a sensor. At 11:42 a.m., a brick smashed through the gate, wrapped in tape, note attached. Want war? You got it. Stay out. James recorded. 11:43 a.m. Threat. Brick. Escalation. He called Diaz. She arrived grim. They've never retaliated post-exposure. You've got them scared. Claire snapped. Why no arrests? Diaz sighed. We need one to flip. James leaned in. Then we break one. Lucas woke screaming that night. The glove man. James held him, whispering, I'm here. But the boy's fear cut deep. 2 days later, James found the porch camera tilted, a gnome shattered, and on the kitchen table, a chalk stick and tape. Marked, silence is safety. He smiled. A mistake. They'd entered his home. He called Diaz. They're sloppy. Move. She called at 7:12 a.m. Intercepted message. Your address. Tonight or tomorrow. Maybe a bluff. James didn't blink. I'll be ready. He set a trap, VY Seibel by day, reading a military manual on the lawn, daring them. At night, he faked an outage, shadows and windows, cameras on infrared. He waited in the crawl space, silent. At 1:03 a.m., a figure crossed the backyard low, professional. James moved, grabbing the intruder's collar, slamming him into the fence, and dropping him with a knee to the ribs. Zip ties bound him. Smile, James whispered. Cameras. Diaz arrived, crouching. You're caught. Talk, or you're the fall guy. The man's eyes twitched fear, not defiance. He was cracking. By morning, he'd spilled. Drop points, a logistics head, fake HOAs extorting families. Raids hit 4 counties, 32 arrested, websites down, a former official exposed for feeding intel. News screamed. Vets footage cracks crime ring. James didn't watch. He knelt on the driveway, handing Lucas a chalk stick. Dragon needs a rematch. Lucas grinned, drawing a fiercer T-Rex. James stood watch, the street quiet-turned, not given. Somewhere, the ring's last cell plotted revenge. James didn't care. He'd be waiting. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.